It takes a lot of people to run an airline. People with many different kinds of abilities and personalities. Each one of them plays a vital role in getting the job done. To work for an airline, you need at least a high school education, and special training is necessary for some jobs. But just as important as a good education is finding out what kind of person you are and what you like to do. Because if you want a job you will enjoy and want to do well, you need to choose one that suits you. This is a film about people who enjoy working for an airline.
This is the reservations department. When people call, we give them information about flight schedules and ticket prices.
Good morning, United Airlines reservations, Miss Hall.
If they're going on a trip, we help them plan their route and make reservations.
On Wednesday evening, what's the fare?
On Wednesday evening?
That's right.
I'll check for you, one moment.
Reservation agents work at computer terminals which are connected to a large central computer. The computer tells which flights still have seats available.
For a party of one? And do you need a return?
Denver to Los Angeles?
After I make a reservation, I give the information to the computer. This way, reservation agents all over the country know exactly how many tickets have been reserved for each flight. I like working with a computer because it tells me what I need to know fast, and it doesn't make mistakes.
We have first class, coach, and economy. Which?
Economy.
Economy? Okay.
I also enjoy talking to people and helping them. Every call is different, and that helps make the job interesting.
The economy fare one way is $76, including tax.
Is that night coach economy?
Right.
Okay, thanks.
Thanks for checking.
This is the maintenance hangar. Everything on an airplane, from the jet engines to the seat cushions, needs constant maintenance. Airplanes have to work right all the time, so we can't wait for things to go wrong. We check the airplanes between flights out at the terminal. After a certain number of hours flying time, each plane is brought to a hangar like this for a complete inspection and overhaul. Maintenance technicians specialize in different jobs. I'm an airframe and power plant mechanic. These airplanes are so complicated we use microfilm diagrams which show us how the various parts are constructed.
It's been sprayed from some time or another.
I've always liked working with my hands and fixing things. I went to a trade school to study jet mechanics after I finished high school. Some of the mechanics learned about jets in the military.
Haven't given us full travel. 10 roll at full travel. Back and forth.
This is a great job for anyone who likes to work with the most up-to-date equipment in the world. We take a lot of pride in our ability to find problems and fix them fast. And let's face it, people's lives depend on our doing a good job, and we take that responsibility very seriously.
This is the avionics department. We repair the airplane's electronic systems. Some of these are small and simple, about like a transistor radio. And some are so complicated that they cost $250,000. The electronic systems are modular. This means that each one is contained in a module that we call a black box. If something goes wrong with the black box, it can be taken out of the plane and replaced with another one immediately. The plane can then stay in operation while we make repairs. I work on the weather radar system. I learned about electronics in a trade school. After I started working for the airline, it took me a year to learn everything about this system. I get to work alone in a quiet place where I can concentrate. I really enjoy digging into a black box and figuring out what's wrong. It's sort of like solving a hard puzzle.
This is the flight kitchen. We cook about 4,500 meals a day, and that's a lot of food. While the food's being prepared, we set up the trays on this conveyor belt. The trays and the food are loaded into modules, which are put on board the airplane just before takeoff. During the trip, the flight attendants serve the food, then put the dirty dishes and trays back into the module. After the plane lands here, the modules are brought to the kitchen so we can clean up and put the dishes in the dishwasher. Our working conditions are good. We have the best equipment. The pay is very high for this kind of work. All of us take a lot of pride in our work. We want every meal that comes out of this flight kitchen to look and taste good, because we know the passengers will appreciate it.
The white zone is for immediate loading and unloading of passengers.
This is the Passenger Services Department. We help people from the time they arrive at the airport until they board their airplane.
Flight 3033, now arriving. And that flight will depart from gate 59 tonight. That's the only place you'll have check-in. Have a nice weekend.
I'm a skycap. I greet the passengers in front of the airline terminal and find out where they're going and whether they have tickets. If they have tickets, I check in their baggage and direct them to the security checkpoint. If they haven't paid for their tickets yet, I send them to the ticket agent. Ticket agents sell tickets and check in baggage. They use computer terminals, just like the ones used by the reservations agents. Then they direct the passengers to the gate where the flight will be boarding. On the way to the boarding gate, the passengers go through the security checkpoint. The security agents check everyone going into the gate area for hidden weapons. The luggage goes through an X-ray machine.
You'll have to place all your bags on the conveyor belts.
The people walk through a metal detector called a magnetometer. If it detects a metal object, the security agent checks to make sure it's not a gun or a bomb. You've heard about airplane hijacking, so you know why we're so careful. When passengers arrive at the gate area, a gate agent assigns them a seat and gives them a boarding pass.
How many's in your party, sir? Two.
Non-smoking.
Non-smoking, okay. Okay, thank you. We'll board at 9:40.
When the airplane is ready for departure, the gate agent makes the announcement, and then the passengers get on board. In passenger services, each day is different and challenging. Sometimes people arrive late, nervous, or even get angry, but we don't let that get to us. I think everyone who works in passenger services likes being with people and talking to them. Just helping people.
After an airplane lands, it taxis to the ramp area. As soon as it comes to a stop, the ground crew goes into action. The ground crew is a group of workers from many departments. Some are mechanics, some load baggage and freight, and some bring the food from the flight kitchen. They have to work together, and they have to work fast to get the airplane ready for the next flight.
I'm a flight attendant. Before each flight begins, we board the plane and check all the supplies. Then, as the passengers come on, we check boarding passes, help them stow their hand luggage, and answer their questions. Once we're in the air, we work straight through, serving food and helping the passengers in any way we can. We also have to be prepared for the unexpected. During our training, we learned how to handle just about any kind of an emergency.
an exaggerated breaststroke. Take your hands so that you've got them up out of the water. Push the water away from you, then bring your arms to the side. Push the water away again, so you're constantly keeping the flames in front of you. Remember that when we land so that we hit on our rear end.
Debbie, you have to do it again.
The airlines look for people who have good common sense, who enjoy serving others, and who can stay calm and courteous even with difficult passengers. People often think this job's all fun and no work, but I work hard. Even so, it's a stimulating job. I get to visit a lot of interesting places, and I meet a lot of nice people. For me, the best thing about this job is the schedule. I get a lot of time off, and that gives me freedom to do things I like. I do work hard, but I have a lot of fun, and I like it.
This airplane has 3 pilots on every flight: a captain, a co-pilot, or first officer, and a second officer. All 3 of us can fly the plane, but as second officer, my main jobs are keeping the records, making the calculations needed for the flight, and inspecting the plane before takeoff. While I'm busy making the pre-flight inspection, the captain and co-pilot check the weather conditions along the route and receive the flight plan.
Last time we have to do this. Yeah.
Phoenix, huh? Guys are reporting turbulence at 26,000.
Airline pilot jobs are hard to get. You need many hours of flying experience before you can even apply. Every 6 months, we go back to flight school for testing and a physical exam. If we have physical condition, we can lose our job. Being a pilot is a big responsibility. People's lives depend on us, so we have to stay constantly alert and ready for any emergency. I decided to become a pilot because there's nothing I like to do more than fly airplanes. People said I'd never be hired because I am a woman and because jobs are very scarce, but I made it. I think you can do nearly anything if you really want to, and if you have confidence in yourself.
If you think you would enjoy an airline career, here are several things you should know. There is strong competition for airline jobs, so the more education and related work experience you have, the better your chances of being hired. Once hired, you'll have a good opportunity to work your way up, because the airlines usually promote their own people before hiring from the outside. Airline employees take pride in their jobs and in their company. Each airline is a team of people working together. And even though they are in competition, the different airlines help each other. Airline people often say that they feel like a part of one very big family. Perhaps you too would like to be a part of that family.